What do Americans think is normal for everyone, but actually it's not normal for anyone but Americans? Prescription drug ads encouraging people to ask their doctor about the drug being advertised. Edit, a lot of people have mentioned this is also common in several other countries like New Zealand. I thought it was exclusively the US. Also, some interesting points are that it has helped raise awareness to some issues people might otherwise not take seriously or be ashamed to bring up to their doctor. Thank you for the awards, I appreciate it. I'm an American and over the past 3 weeks I've been getting ads for Vyvanse, an amphetamine ADHD medication, and some shit for low libido in women on Facebook. So now not only are they on TV, they're on freaking Facebook. Fuyu, I don't think this practice should be legal, either. Wasn't trying to shit talk Vyvanse, I've been on it since 2016, I just never expected to see an ad for it, to be honest. E2, for those telling me to delete FB, I plan on it once my dad dies. He has cancer and tags me in cute funny stuff all the time since he's medically retired and bored now. It makes me happy that he thinks of me so much. Smile. Once he's gone I plan to memorialize his page, download my FB data, and have my account fully deleted. It's not legal here in the UK, or more specifically you can't advertise any prescription medicine to anybody who isn't a doctor, i.e. the general public. But I guess our entire healthcare and advertising systems are different. Edit, fix typo. Toilet cubicles, where people not only can peek, but an adult person could crawl into your cubicle. There is so much space under the door. Forget under the door, there are like centimeters of space all around the door. When I was there during the last election I was shocked at how phrases like "well they have the black vote" or "the Latino vote" came up all the time on the radio. Obviously it's not racist, but it's just something that would never come up in my country. Like, why would Latino people all vote for the same person? I've heard someone say that we are the only ones who drink out of solo cups. Canadians do too, and in Europe when some younger people play beer pong they get them for authenticity. Other than that, yes, North Americans are the only ones as far as I know. Yeah, we use them for beer pong here in Europe, mostly knockoffs though, but that's just because the standard here is like 0.2 liters plastic cups, which are way harder to throw ping pong balls into. Generally you can't buy them as disposable cups in the supermarket though, and you have to buy some sort of beer pong set. I was in Germany for the 4th of July about 10 years ago. The stores had big solo cup displays with American Party advertisements and everyone wearing red, white, and blue clothes. Brought a tear to my eye. And they say us Americans have no culture. SMH. Portion sizes. The first meal for any foreigner should be the Cheesecake Factory because their portions are huge and because it's all uphill from there. The ducking menu alone is massive. Not putting the final price on the tag. I'm not sure whether it's still like this, but a few years ago one never knew whether the $1 item in McDonald's or Burger King is actually $1 or maybe $1.08. Putting a ton of sugar in products like bread. In America, it's corn syrup. The trend now in the US is to remove corn syrup. But don't be fooled. They replace it with similar amounts of regular sugar, usually labeled cane sugar or beet sugar. And it's basically the same health-wise. People think it tastes better, which I tend to agree with. Edit for all the experts here, regular sugar is 50% fructose. HFCS comes in two main versions, either 42% or 55% fructose. Most studies on metabolization find no difference or find the difference nearly irrelevant to health. It's important to stick to science here. The medical and scientific community agree there isn't an important difference nutritionally for normal people. Medical conditions like diabetes or lack of normal enzymes will cause issues, though. 90% HFCS is rare and very different nutritionally but must be labeled as fructose, or HFCS 90. Usually it is labeled as fructose to avoid the stigma of HFCS, and this isn't what we are seeing get removed from food, just normal HFCS. So you're correct that fructose one of the worst compliments, but removing the ingredient labeled HFCS doesn't really help, since you're swapping 42% or 55% for 50%. Florida man checking in. I so badly want regular sugar back in beverages. Duck corn subsidies. Being legally allowed to drink only when you reach 21. My maternity leave was an unpaid 6 weeks, and I had to fight them on not shorting me because I went past my due date and didn't keep working until the day I went into labor. This comment is very underrated. Maternity leave is a joke in the US, and you can forget about paternity leave. I know someone that went into labor while at work, grocery store, and she was back in a couple weeks because she used up her 2 weeks vacation. Agree. It should be much higher. 6 weeks is a ducking joke compared to most civilized countries. It's shameless how little support workers get in the US. The Swedish government says that parents of both sexes are entitled to 480 days, 16 months, of paid parental leave at about 80% of their salary, with a cap, plus bonus days for twins, and they must share. Swedish dads must take at least some of those 16 months. The days don't expire until the child is 8 years old. BusinessInsider.com America, get back to work. Cracks whip. Gratuitous violence in entertainment is normal. But show one boob and people lose their shit. I read an article last year about how in American Horror Story they played a 4-minute long scene of Lady Gaga's character slashing throats and drinking blood during an orgy, but the song playing in the background had the word ducking censored. American censorship standards are wild. Ambulance rides costing money seems pretty absurd to people from other countries. I've heard of people getting Ubers instead of getting an ambulance because it costs so much. Yeah, my roommate was really sick once. I got an Uber and took her to the hospital because an ambulance would cost $1,000 instead of $15. Which reasonably priced state do you live in? It's usually 3 to 5K. Yep. I'm still paying off debt from an ambulance ride that cost me $3,500. I went like 2 miles. And I have amazing health insurance by US standards. Jesus Christ. And guess what? The imps in that ambulance make $15 an hour. Paramedics maybe $25 an hour. It's only that there are billion-dollar companies ensuring that Americans can't imagine any other system that it stays that way. This one is more on the positive side, because I think we could learn some from it. Talking and sharing your life with complete strangers. I have met quite a few Americans, so it seems the norm that you share and engage with strangers in public. The bus, train, parks, etc., and then you go on your way. In Denmark you'd be a freak if you did that. Having only 2 parties, Republicans and Democrats. I know there are some smaller parties, but the system is stacked against them. The bipartisan system is messed up. The idea that Americans have a, literal, red versus blue mentality with their own country, and are willing to pick sides so vehemently and aggressively boggles my mind. The red and blue mess me up as well. Usually red associates with worker or socialist parties, and blue with conservative parties. For some reasons the US reversed this, it seems. Edit, wow, politics can sure be touchy. I only stated the colors used by the main parties don't seem to match their equivalent parties in other countries. Not sure why that got controversial. I did like the factoid that the Republicans are the Workers' Party and the Dems the capitalists. It made me laugh. Attack ads against political opponents, ads for law firms or lawyers. These kinds of ads are illegal and considered unethical in our country. Also expecting a teenager to be out of the house by the time they're 18. I live in Southeast Asia. There's no stigma about living with one's parents. Most of the time, there will be 3 generations living in one house. In the USA, it was illegal for lawyers to advertise their services until 1977. The change came from a Supreme Court decision in which some lawyers argued that advertising is free speech, covered by the First Amendment. Where did I learn this? An episode of Better Call Saul, believe it or not. In the show, the character of Chuck is a respected lawyer and legal scholar who believes very deeply in having high ethical standards. During an argument with Jimmy about ethics, he blurts out that only scumbag lawyers advertise on TV because the Supreme Court went crazy in 1977. I paused and looked it up. Such a great show, and to my understanding they get almost everything about law right. Supposedly the only piece of visual media as accurate as My Cousin Vinny. Being able to vote before reaching the legal drinking age. Asking everyone, what do you do when you first meet them? I live outside the US and realize there are some people I've known for years and I still don't know their job. I think in the US jobs are a bigger part of a person's identity than in some other places. Extra large bottomless cups for cola or soft drinks. You could bathe in those. How is this a child size? Well, it's roughly the size of a 2-year-old child if they were liquefied. Edit. Sorry for the region locked video, it's the Parks and Rec scene. Funny how that video isn't available in my country.